Hello. Today I would like to talk about an extremely niche and esoteric mechanic that really wasn't used until the end of Vermintide's life, the slot system. So this may look really complicated, but I promise it's actually really simple and easy to abuse. This red circle is just where enemies want to start winding up their attacks. This yellow circle is where enemies generally want to stand, and these are the actual slots. So the way that the slots work is enemies will call dibs on a slot, try to path to it, and as soon as they path to it, they are considered in melee with you. They are locked into their slot. Now this matters because if an enemy is locked into a slot, it disables your coherency toughness regeneration, which is a big deal. So, as you can see, this is very easy to explain. This is just saying that these enemies are calling dibs on the slots that they want to take, and the enemies that aren't calling dibs are creating these like side conclaves, and you can see that play out right here because look, they all start moving to their pre-designated spots, and then if we go back here, as soon as this guy reaches his slot, he starts his attack. And now even if you dodge away, even if you like try to walk away from this guy, he'll still have his slot locked in if he can run back into it. That's why sometimes you'll go like 20 seconds without getting any toughness back from coherency. So, and then you see they just create, they just go off their slot priority. And that's how they create this like circle around you. And you just have to remember, enemies always ideally want to create this. So, what happens if your back is to a wall and you can't actually, like, do anything about this? Well, that's when we go over here, and this is how you can exploit this in-game. So, as you can see, since we have this side of our slots covered by terrain, this side covered, and our entire back, there's only that singular circle right here, which only leaves one open slot for an enemy to take up without blocking off all the others. So in this corner, you can only be attacked one at a time. It doesn't matter if there's like 100 guys back here. If there was 100 of these guys back here, this would still be the strongest place to be fighting them, as long as there's no like specials or anything, simply because as you can see, they just have to go single fire line at you. And now trappers, as I'm sure you can imagine, trappers become a nightmare to dodge in that scenario. Same with like a green dog. So you really have to weigh the risk versus the reward. Are you going to be able to get out? And to give you an even more specific explanation of this or demonstration, if we go back against the wall here and then spawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, we spawn a whole horde of these guys. You can see how they just kind of sit there and cheer their boys on. But because we only have 4 slots available to take up, we can only get hit by like 4 guys at a time. So, allow me to make like a bajillion dudes here, and I'm not scared about like any of this, frankly. See, now they're starting to take my other side slots. So if we just walk over here, you see how I can kind of just manipulate their AI to always be behind me? It doesn't matter, add a million guys here if you want. It doesn't matter. Make them all crushers. It doesn't matter. There's a locked number of enemies. Because the whole horde is there on the left, I know they aren't going to be able to get to my other side here and attack me. So I know there's only like 2 guys at any given time that are able to attack me. Now, what is happening here is that the AI is queuing up slots behind guys that are already attacking. That's why you have to stagger. As long as you stagger one set of guys, look, it stops the entire horde from attacking. See? As long as I move at a brisk snail's pace backwards so that these slots over here are covered and I stagger in this direction, then look, it doesn't matter how many guys there are. They can't hurt me. This is an essential element to horde management that if you play long enough, you'll just get an intuitive understanding for. But the thing you do have to consider, so I'm using Loner right now. And do you see how I haven't gotten any toughness regeneration from this? Yeah, so look, I have to go like all the way back over here. Damn, that's not even far enough. But let me lose some health. So look at how far I have to go to be considered like in Loner range. So look, you have to be this far away for toughness. So look, as soon as they start taking up a slot, you are locked out of toughness. This is the primary reason why toughness regeneration speed just isn't that good, is because even if you're Loner, even if you're always in coherency, even if it comes back at like a rate of 100 every 5 seconds, it doesn't matter because you're going, I mean, as you can see, if I take this here, I'm going to get my toughness back from everything but coherency. This is why relying on coherency is just not a good idea. And coherency, outside of the buffs it gives through auras, just isn't a strong mechanic at all. And it's not even something you should really bother yourself with, because the actual toughness regen is basically only good against the gunners. Okay, that's all I wanted to talk about. Now I can talk about toughness regeneration speed. This is kind of essential to understanding it, though.